ஏப்பா நீ எழுந்துக்கிறச்சு எனக்கு அது என்னோட ஃபோன் எடுத்து கொடுறா. சரி லேப்டாப்.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Patrick.
Feels so popular. It's a big crowd. Tuesday must be better for everybody. I've been kind of nerding out all week this week. I've had some cool stuff going on. We'll wait a few more minutes and catch some more people, and then we'll get started. I've been really reducing my my presentations. If y'all haven't noticed, I was like going an hour and a half, 50 zillion slides, and then I had Ryan O'Donnell on one night, and he was gonna work with me back and forth. But I had so many slides, he kind of like, along with several other people. So I learned that night, let's just hit the topic short and sweet. You want to dive deep? If you want to dive deeper with me, check out my outlines that I post in the Rock and Study group. I outline each chapter and go thoroughly looking for a lot of the main points that help me out when I'm studying, but at least go into those chapters. And then when I put my slides together now, I kind of hit just even more main points.
No.
But thanks, Stacey, for coming. You'll have I hope you'll have a good time tonight, but I definitely appreciate you stopping by. Okay. I don't know. Wait a few more minutes and then we'll get rolling. I got the Facebook Live feed going on my phone, so I can kind of see what's happening there. Does anybody know how to share a Facebook Live? Somebody wanted to know that. If not, that's okay. All right. Just giving everybody heads up in case you haven't learned by now, I record all of my Zooms, not so much for quality assurance, just so I can upload them to my YouTube channel, which is mostly just so people have an opportunity to catch the Zooms later on. I say hopefully because sometimes the recordings catch and sometimes I can't get them to save or convert or whatever. But I do keep everything on Facebook Live. The reasoning behind all these different avenues is we live in different time zones, we live in different parts of the country and the world, and it just makes it easier for our study and convenience just to have all these options available. Because I understand, I really, really do. If you haven't had a chance, please stop by the YouTube channel. There's lots of good stuff in there. I have all the chapters labeled, but I don't have labeled by content. There's a Shane Spiker MO talk that's really good, really good. And of course, if there's any other topics that catch your interest. I'm just a guy trying to study and having some people along for the ride. And I appreciate y'all joining me. I really do. Yeah, I'm not sure what chapter in second edition. The name of the channel is just basically my name. Type in Patrick Schumacher and you're going to find all that stuff. I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about popularity. I'm just trying to create an avenue where I could share the videos and the content without having to share a Google Drive video to 10,000 people, and it's kind of difficult. And it's a whole lot easier through the YouTube. But it's just my name, nothing fancy, nothing wild. I do have a second edition, but I study mostly out of my third. So not really quite sure. But I do appreciate everything, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. I kind of jumped around a little bit this week. In case you haven't noticed, I usually try to go in order of each chapter just to kind of help, I don't know, I'm kind of OCD that way. But I've been really studying task list D. So I've been really trying to stick with the concepts that are involved with task list D. Verbal behavior, that was a great discussion last night. And if you have a chance to go to the YouTube channel and watch it, I'll post it later on this week. It was great. I had a light bulb moment last week, so I shared all that with everybody yesterday. Then we talked about prompts last week. Oh man, that was really exciting. Put a lot of work into that to kind of bring it together. And stimulus control has a lot to do with that. So we had a lot of videos on that. And now this week, we're going to talk about imitation, modeling, and observational learning. There really isn't a whole lot to go dig deep, 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 deep. There's imitation training. There's the things we're looking for imitation training. Of course, we're talking about imitation, modeling, and observational learning. But like I said before, if you want to dig deeper, go to the Rock and Study group. Look for Cooper chapter 21 and go ahead and enjoy it. I put a lot of stuff in there, and for a short chapter, it's sure to keep me busy on Sunday. All right, but nonetheless, let's get started. I've been going crazy in my head for the last, I don't know, since I finished this PowerPoint the other day. And I thought, what better way to think about imitation and modeling? And I was not going to record my wife doing her exercise videos and show it. That would probably be trouble waiting to happen right there. But I did want to kind of, it made me think about the concepts with her. She's watching a video and she's, So when we look at the picture, what is A? What is A in this picture?
The model.
Right, that's the model. She watches her pound videos and she's kind of moved on to other ones and she's watching them and they're the model, but she's at home completing the workout. If A is the model, what's my wife? What's her role in all this?
The learner.
The learner, the imitator. Good, she's imitating. Correct. So one thing that's really kind of helped me the last couple of days when I put this all together was we have a person who does the model and we have the person who's imitating. And I wasn't going to torture you guys with sweating to the oldies videos, but those workout videos are perfect. We watch the video and we imitate what's going on. Stop and think about this for a second with this pound video. There's immediacy, isn't there? We see the workout and then we're doing it immediately after the person does it. I mean, my wife's not going to do it simultaneously with the lady unless she's watched it 10,000 times, but she does watch the same ones over and over again. So we have immediacy. Let's see, we have a model. Oh, we have formal similarity, don't we? The woman in the video is doing the pound sticks, and guess at home what my wife's doing, the pound sticks. What she's doing, what the model's doing, my wife is doing. Exactly. And then we have a controlling relation. So just right there with the workout video, we have all the points we're fixing to discuss tonight right there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Then I was sitting around at work today and I thought about something else. This movie's hilarious, by the way. And I was thinking, I'm the younger brother in my family. And my goal in life was to drive them crazy. It was like, that's a goal of being the youngest. I don't know what it is. And there's a lot of modeling and imitation growing up. My brother does something and I do it right after. A lot of immediacy, that control and relation, formal similarity. But I also annoyed the fire out of my brother. And I know in this clip, there's a lot of echoic going on. He's repeating, but he's also imitating. And I'm not so, well, it's funny, but he's imitating. So who's the model and who's imitating? Let's see if I can play. No, why is no sound? I don't know why I have no sound. Oh, I don't know why I don't have sound. I don't know why I have no sound. I don't know. Oh. Well, that was fun almost before it got started. He basically, the guy in the back seat's repeating everything the guy in the front seat. He's imitating every word he's saying to drive him crazy. That was, well, not funny if you can't hear it. So I guess I better, there goes that idea. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. All right. Anyways, like I said before, we have our, this is kind of the thing that I got from Karen when we were studying, the F mic. The formal similarity, we have our model, we have our immediacy, and we have our control relation. That acronym right there kind of helps me remember the things that I need that go together for imitation. Imitation, experimental literature shows that individuals acquire and maintain imitative behavior in the same fashion as they acquire and maintain other operant behaviors. Wow, that's a lot of words right there. But basically, literature shows that we acquire and maintain things that we see, things that we hear, actions in the same fashion we acquire them. The reinforcement increases the occurrence of imitation. So if we're going to imitate somebody, imitate a model, more than likely we are going to, if there's reinforcement involved, we're going to continue doing that. That makes me think about my 14-year-old, the things that he imitates, how he dresses and how he talks. Man, that PlayStation has a lot of stuff going on, a lot of behavior concepts. But just imitating what he sees and what he hears, it's reinforcing. He hears what those people say, he says it immediately how he heard it, and it continues if it's reinforcing. When some imitative behaviors receive information, other imitative behaviors occur without specific training and reinforcement. There are some imitative behaviors that we do that we don't have training and reinforcement. We get the information and we do it. Some children who do imitate can also be taught to do so. In the notes, I put all the stuff that Cooper outlined for imitation training, and it includes how you need to be able to attend, how you use hands in your lap and how you're sitting, and all the different stuff that kind of go along with that. Which really kind of neat. And another point that Mayer said wrong night, but Cooper said at the beginning of the chapter was a guitar player. And this kind of drove me a little bit nuts as I got older, because I was in band and I played trombone and all that good stuff. But I read music, and I could not play anything without my music. There was no improvising. There was no, I heard it, now I'm going to play it. I needed my music. Then I got older and I joined the church band, or the church group that did the music on Sundays. And I was learning how to do bass guitar. And also I put words up on the screen. Well, now I'm not now I don't have sheet music in front of me. I have chords. So I had to learn to, when I played, imitate the actions of the other guitar player, or the model would show me how to do it and I would imitate those actions. And there's a lot of guitar players that can hear and see a person playing, and they can imitate that sound and style to a T. I'm not one of those people, but I do admire it and I do appreciate it. Like we said earlier, when we have to have imitation to occur, one of the things we need is to have a model. A model is an antecedent stimulus with topographical similarity to the behavior the analyst wants to be imitated. Antecedent stimulus, obviously the behavior analyst wants it to be imitated with the do this, all those things, but also there are a lot of behaviors that are imitated that necessarily aren't wanted to be imitated. When we start looking at generalized imitation, that can get kind of scary if you really stop and think about it. That's why I posted the Bobo doll experiment. These kids were exposed to this man that just did horrible things with this doll, and they watched it and they started doing those things. They started imitating what they saw. So that could really kind of span a lot of other things. When we start to think about our learners and we start to think about our my professor was hardcore about it, so we had to watch it for an assignment. If I wouldn't have watched it for an assignment, I wouldn't have, got into it. But it really made you think. We had to do a reflection paper on it, and it makes you think about all the kids and the clients and the students that we work with. What do they experience at home? And then there's always this interesting line: learned behavior. Those kids have learned behavior. Well, we know, as aspiring behavior analysts, does anyone know where Patrick went to school? I went to school at the University of Arkansas for my ABA certificate. I went to Arkansas State for my master's in special ed. I went to Louisiana Tech actually, for my elementary undergrad. And believe it or not, I went to another school and got my associate degree at a community college. But I got my BCBA stuff at University of Arkansas. I was just thinking about the imitation part of it. You know, when I go in the classroom and I work with my kids, and all these paras and all these people I work with say it's learned behavior. Well, we know as behavior analysts, there's respondent and there's operant learning. We know that. We know we learn things through consequences, and we learn things through our physiology, you know, just our learning history and or our biology. We know those things. But we can also learn through models, and we learn imitation through models that could be good and bad. So it really starts to make you take that start to account for that when you think about a lot of your learners. A model can actually be a person who actually demonstrates a behavior, or a model can be symbolic. That's Bandura. The same guy did the Bobo doll. So that person demonstrates something, and we carry it with us. It's powerful. It's really powerful stuff. Well, when we talk about models, we have two different main types: planned models and unplanned models. Unplanned models are exactly what they say they are. For better or worse, they're unplanned. They just happen. Like the picture here. We're in the subway, and we don't know how to get through the subway. There's some observational learning happening, but we watch the person in front of us, how they use a turnstile, how they put their card in, or whatever. That's our first time in the subway, and we do that stuff. A child at a preschool for the first time, he's watching other students. I have a new client who's new at school, and he's watching other kids. He's a preschool teacher's nightmare in some ways because he's not adapted fully yet, but he's learning through imitation. He's learning through all those unplanned events happening in the classroom. Then we have planned models, like the picture above, Dancing with the Stars question I posted. We planned out how to dance. The instructor, the model, is there to show us all these choreography skills, plans it all out for all the things that we're going to learn. Or videos of people perform the target behavior also serve as planned models. So my wife, let's go back to her, for example. She has an account that she pays for to do pound whatever in the living room, and she has tons of videos of people performing the target behavior that she wants to do. Sounds like video modeling. It sounds like planned models. Yeah, my wife started a weight loss journey last year, and she's lost a ton, but most importantly, she's feeling great. And I'm proud of her. Of course, I've kind of turned the opposite direction and got a little bit bigger, but I'm really proud of her. And it's a big thing when you do the weight loss journey. It really is. All right, let's go over here. Imitation criteria. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, Patrick. So I had a quick question regarding the planned and unplanned modeling, if you don't mind going real quick.
Yeah.
So say I do movie night with my son every Friday night. So we're planning to watch a movie every Friday. And so Friday comes, put on the movie, and then there's somebody dancing, let's just say, in a scene. And then all of a sudden, my son gets up and he starts dancing. Now, the dancing, like, wasn't planned, but the movie was planned. But what would you consider my son
I would consider unplanned model because you planned the movie, but you didn't plan for the dancing skills.
For the scene, okay.
Yeah, you planned for the movie, you planned for the evening, but you did not plan to, on this particular Friday night, we're going to learn dance moves off of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I want to add here, plan for movie, that's right, but I don't think that's modeling. You just plan to watch the movie with your son.
Mhm.
Is that
He's
modeling?
Right, he's imitating what he sees, and the movie is modeling some
That's
behavior.
after that, yes.
Right, if it happens, within that immediate time, yeah, he's definitely imitating in the movie, in the
Yes.
scene the movie
The
serves as a
second
model.
part, yes, is become unplanned model. Yes,
Mhm.
thank
But
you.
as far as that being a planned model, you planned the movie night, but you didn't plan having dance night.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So they would probably specify in a question what, they're referring to, whether it's that specific scene or the movie itself, right? So
Right.
then, okay, that makes sense.
And most of the time when it comes to video models for planned models, they're training videos.
Yeah,
They're workout videos, or there's something that you're watching to learn that skill. We don't
Yeah.
watch a movie to learn how to dance. We watch
Yeah.
a movie for entertainment or laugh our tail off.
exactly.
I mean, we don't really watch Dance with the Stars to learn how to dance.
Mhm.
But there are people that probably but like cooking shows, there are certain cooking shows and blogs and Pinterest and whatever the list can go on, where people pull up that video of that recipe and they go along inside it. Yeah, they're following a behavior chain, but they're also trying to imitate the people in that video.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Good question. Very good question. Like my first question in a while. I feel kind of excited there. Awesome.
And you did a great job answering it because I get it now. So thank you.
I think it's kind of obvious I've been studying a whole bunch. My wife will probably tell you different because I still kind of have my lazy days. But back to, this is kind of a review to that slide earlier with imitation criteria. We have our formal similarity. That's why it's really important when it comes to when it comes to formal similarity with imitation modeling. Stop and think about it for a second. My wife's beating the sticks. She's doing the same thing they're doing as the person in the video. If someone's saying something in the deal and you're saying it back, there's a lot of same sense mode happening. It's not so much point to point correspondence. It's a lot of same sense mode. What they're doing, we are doing. There's definitely a temporal relationship. This is a question that I had on Rockin' Club on Sunday. The longer the latency between a previous observed model and the occurrence of behavior that duplicates the model is the more likely that the variables other than the model are the controlling response. Some people were thinking, and I'm not calling anybody out, we're thinking IRT because we think of multiple responses. Well, I'm thinking about one model, one behavior, and one temporal relationship within close proximity. I'm repeating somebody. Cat, cat, car, car. You need quiet and all that stuff. There's a tight temporal relationship. There's a small latency with that behavior. Now I can see where IRT comes in because sometimes we can imitate multiple behaviors. So we're thinking about IRT between a whole bunch of series of behaviors. But we're thinking as imitation, the whole enchilada from the model who gave us the whole show. The model gave us this beautiful dance, what to do. It's kind of like total task chaining. The model showed us what to do, and then we imitated the whole thing right afterwards. And we did it close in time. And our latency, the quicker it is, it's more easy to have that controlling response too. The model as a primary controlling variable, the controlling relation between the model's behavior and the imitator's behavior is inferred when the model evokes a similar behavior without prior history of reinforcement. An imitative behavior is a new behavior that follows a novel antecedent. When we're talking about modeling and we're talking about imitation, well, especially imitation, we're imitating novel behaviors, brand new stuff. So it really kind of makes me think about when Nick did, Nick does Sunday or Saturday study sessions. We talked about how a lot of people do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Are those novel behaviors? Not really. We already know how to touch our ears, our nose, our head, our knees, our whatever. We're not imitating new behavior. I could see where that's great with behavior momentum and all that good stuff, but make sure if you're going to teach novel behaviors, we're teaching new behaviors. And after the model evokes the imitated behavior, that behavior typically contacts contingencies of reinforcement. So if I copied you, imitated you, I just didn't do it because it felt great. Determinism plays a part here. Everything happens for a reason. So more than likely I did it because it's reinforcing. When our teenagers act a fool, or they act like a kid they just saw in the YouTube video or whatever, it's for some reason it's reinforcing to them. So we have to think about all those things as well. And then right here at the bottom, this goes in with the model as controlling variable. We have our MO. I can't, my screen's like full here, full of stuff. We have our MO, then the SD kicks in, then we have our response, and then we receive reinforcement. My screen's so busy. All right. I really wanted to kind of touch on this because of my coursework. Generalized imitation, I know I mentioned it earlier. I posted the Bobo doll video. Asked Marcia, she did the paper on it. Generalized imitation, it plays a big role in society. It really does. As behavior analysts, this is something we need to understand. This kid in this video, and there's kids and clients that we work with, they contact new behaviors from a model. And those behaviors that they're contacted with are sometimes appropriate and sometimes inappropriate. Sometimes they're desired and sometimes they're undesired. Granted, those 4 words are kind of subjective based on the learner, based on the listener. But nonetheless, we're learners, all of us, no matter how old, how young. Generalized imitation is often used when a learner imitates a wide variety of unprompted, untrained, non-reinforced model behaviors in different settings and situations. When your kid goes to Walmart and he sees how some people act, when your kid goes to the grocery store, when your kid watches YouTube videos, when your kid's with their friends, but even us, we imitate things. It's powerful. It's really powerful. As working in early childhood, I see a lot of this every day. It's really, really good, guys. I'm with Marsh. I would definitely recommend watching it. It's a 4-minute video, posting and rocking. It's pretty good. Generalized imitation can be considered a higher order response class in which participants imitate novel behaviors, new behaviors without training, and they're not predicative of reinforcement. So they're learning new behaviors and they're not being reinforced. Sounds like we've seen or heard that with a lot of people that we come in contact with. Go back there real fast. Imitation training, I don't want to spend too much time on this because, like I said, I really dig deep in my notes. I'm trying to eliminate having 30,000 slides and trying to make it down to 10 to 12. But imitation training is important. But if we're going to do imitation training, let's build new skills. I'm not really worried about. Yeah, you can find the notes in the Rockin' Study group. Here, I'll put that in the chat real fast. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. Be a member of the Rock and Study group. Make sure you answer all membership questions and try to actively participate. You'll benefit a lot out of, the time you put into it. It's worth it. It really is. But all my notes, presentations, everything's there. I have no problem sharing because for the most part, I make it to help me study. And if it helped me, then I'm sure it can help somebody else. But imitation training is a systematic research-based set of steps for teaching a non-imitative learner to imitate models of, well, say, new behaviors. So we're not worried about touching our toes and our nose and our ears and all that craziness. The learner's going to pass that. They're going to, flying colors. We're teaching new skills. We're probably teaching skills they don't have in the repertoire that are really important. So definitely keep that in mind. Imitation training protocol based on Streifel, 1974. Said he builds on the experimental method of Baer and colleagues developed these set of protocols. They include assess and teach if necessary. So you're going to probe and you're going to see what the learner can do. And then if they can't do it, then we're going to teach it. And then we're going to select those models that they, well, starting out, we're going to do some stuff they can do in the first couple trials. And then we're going to kind of span off into those difficult tasks. We're not going to have one imitation model. We're going to have like 25. We want a whole bunch of models. That way we know what they can and they can't do. We're going to pre-test to see what they can and can't do. And then we're going to sequence those models. We're going to create those trials for training. And then we're going to conduct training. The guideline for training are keep sessions active and brief. That should be for a lot of things where we're teaching novel and new skills. Keep that success rate going. Reinforce both prompted and imitative responses. The learner's going to imitate what you're doing, reinforce it. And you're going to have to also prompt and reinforce when they do the response, when you prompt, and fade out that prompt as well. When you use prompts for imitation protocol, they don't count. If you have a prompt a learner when you did the test or a pre-test or anything, those skills don't count. Pair verbal praise and attention with tangible reinforcers. That sounds very familiar. We're pairing that praise and with an attention because we want to phase out that tangible and have that specific praise hang on down. That's the reason why we're doing that. If progress stalls, we're going to back up and move ahead slowly. We want the client to be successful. So we're going to back it up, get some success, and then move ahead if we can. We're going to fade out those prompts. Just like last week, we talked about prompts. We're going to fade those prompts out, whether they're verbal response or physical guidance. And most importantly, we're going to make data-based decisions. The data is going to do the talking. Now, well, this should be basically review because we've learned from tonight that the modeler or model or whatever you want to call it, they're showing the person what to imitate. So if you're going to have imitation, you're also going to have modeling. I should have posted a picture of me and my little boy when he was about 3. He wanted to shave with me really, really bad, and he got the shaving cream on his face and everything, and it was so cute. But a lot of stuff I do with my son, I model. If even my preschoolers, if I want them to learn a desired skill, I got to model. I got to show them. We don't just learn through osmosis. That's not how it works. You know what you're supposed to do. You know better. Well, let's meet in the end. Let's meet in the middle and teach and model those skills. A behavior change strategy in which learners acquire new skills by imitating demonstrations of the skills they live or symbolic models. When my dad taught me how to shave, he was a model and he demonstrated how to shave, and that's what I did. When I learn how to do stuff around the yard or do things with my car, and I'm still the worst mechanic. You don't want me fixing your car or touching it. But my dad would show me things. He would teach me things as a teacher, because I became a teacher before I became a behavior analyst. I'm always modeling skills. I'm always showing the learner what I want them to do, what I want them to perform or imitate. In the picture here, like I said, we have the shaving demonstration, coaching. It just doesn't happen overnight. Playing basketball, baseball, football, you model appropriate skills if you want the child to do, or the athlete to do it correctly. And you're doing some shaping also, and you're doing some differential reinforcement. A lot of neat stuff happening there if you really stop and think about it. Or a symbolic model that demonstrates or depicts desired behaviors, a picture icon, a photo, a video, an audio, or mixed media presentation. There's something that's showing us what to do. The best example I could think of for a picture model would be going right back to my daycares. When we want kids to clean up, we have a picture of what the items look like when they're cleaned up in the cubby in that spot. Like, for example, blocks. We don't want the kids just to chunk those blocks in the cabinet. We want them to, stack them up nice and neatly and then go to the carpet. So we have a picture of what that looks like. We show a model of what we want that child to do. And they're all over the place in lots of centers. Good preschools, I'm not saying they're bad, they don't have them, but it gives a learner what expectation, what to do, models the correct behavior. I know a lot of people are big on self. I can't. My brain's shutting down tonight. The breathing and the self relaxation and all that stuff. Well, to do a lot of the self regulation, you start off with co-regulation, and co-regulation starts with modeling. Don't tell me to calm down. Show me how to calm down, and I can imitate that skill, and I can perform on my own later on. Video modeling is another strategy for modeling. The technique involves using a video of the desired behavior. We watch the video and we imitate the behavior. My wife's pound videos. She watches what to do and she follows right behind it. I should have used Billy Blaine and Tybo. I mean, those guys that he's rocking it out with, they're imitating them. They are. They're keeping up with them too. Video self-modeling, it's a specific application that allows the individual to imitate targeted behavior by observing himself. I'm doing the skill, and then I'm going to watch myself do it. I would feel kind of weird doing that, but that's just me. Observational learning. I put a question in the deal on Sunday, and I got, well, that sounds a lot like discriminated avoidance. It does, doesn't it? But look at the context here. This entails detecting another person's behavior and its consequences that inform us whether or not we need to do that. So when that woman walks across the sidewalk in that one particular spot, has black eyes, and she slips and she falls, yeah, we're going to avoid it. There's some discriminated avoidance there. But because we watched her fall, we learned that that's not a good thing. We learned through observational learning that we may need to walk slower, avoid that area, or be more careful. I could definitely see that argument, but I'm just saying because of the relation in time here, I'm walking behind somebody, they just fell down. There's no real time for avoidance. There's no real time because there's no history. There's no time to escape. It's just I have to go, but now I'm going to learn through her mishap. And that's observational learning. I learned from that person in front of me how they got through it. It doesn't have to so much be slipping and falling. There's a lot of stuff that we learn through indirect contact what to do. If I never used an ATM card, or I never used a debit card, and I went to the store and I'm behind the woman in front of me and I'm watching her put it in the chip reader, and I'm watching her punch a number in, I'm learning how to do that right behind her. That would also be observational learning. Yes, it's unplanned. It's an unplanned model if you want to go that far. But in the details of observational learning, we're using information that we just learned, whether to imitate or not do it. I think my kid does a lot of observational learning with my 14-year-old, whether or not he should yell at the video games or whatever. And of course, here's my references, was good old Cooper, chapter 21. Did anything make sense tonight? Any questions? Hopefully I have answers. Can't guarantee it, but I'll do my best. This really was a fun topic. This really was.
Yes, you did a great job.
Let's see if we can go back to.
I like your PowerPoint.
Yeah, I try to use a lot of examples and pictures.
And visual, and your visual too, it makes us to remember.
Yeah, I mean, because you read the words and it's like, oh man, that's that ABA jargon. Then you have a picture that goes with it, and it's like, oh, that's what it is. When I was in the car today and I thought about the sticks thing, I was like, wow, that is modeling imitation. But what my wife does at least 3 times a day. And then if you didn't want to go so far as when we go to the gym, we take that leap of faith with that New Year's resolution and we go to the gym and we have no idea what we're doing in the gym. Aren't we doing some observational learning? You know, we're watching that person on the free weights or watching them on this, whether we want to do that or not do that. These concepts are all around us. They really are. I haven't looked ahead yet for next week, but don't forget, I'll have a chapter from Behavior Analysis Lasting Change on Monday at 7 Central Time. If you don't have the book, that's fine. Come along and study with me. Same thing there. I post the notes from the chapter, and I post a presentation, and then Cooper the same way. If any of you guys have a hot topic that you want to it's pressing and I want to go over it Tuesday night, you're in the Cooper Book Club, please go ahead. I really enjoyed kind of coming back last couple of weeks, but if you want to, go right ahead. At this point, let's not worry about what chapter's next and what's coming up. If there's a topic that you want to share or you're an expert in, or you're just really struggling and you want to present it just to kind of help you push over that hill, please let me know. Any topic you want, any chapter you want, just let me know and you're more than welcome. But with that being said, y'all have a great night and I'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys.